Hey folks, this is Riker with a gaming news wrap-up video where we discuss the happenings of the week. This week's topics include a recap of all the major Blizzconline news, including Diablo 4 and World of Warcraft, some other action RPG news, and more. As always, discussion timestamps can be found in the video description below, but right before you skip ahead, just a quick reminder to ring that sub notification bell to be alerted to new Saturday episodes and stay up to date with gaming news highlights. Now, before we move on, just a quick word from this video's sponsor, Audible. I'm always looking for content that I can listen to without having to watch. Content that I can listen to while working or put on my wireless headphones and listen to while I cook or clean. And Audible is the world's leading provider of spoken word entertainment with the largest selection of audiobooks and thousands of podcasts. Right now, I started listening to Diablo Legacy of Blood. I know we have some Diablo lore fans on this channel, and if you've been watching my Diablo lore series, then I encourage you to check out Diablo Legacy of Blood and all the other Diablo audiobooks. As an Audible member, you get 1 credit every month, good for any title in Audible's premium selection. And those titles are yours to keep forever in your Audible library, even once you cancel your membership. So start listening with a free 30-day Audible trial and get full access to an unmatched selection of all you can listen to audiobooks, original entertainment, and podcasts included in the Plus catalog. Just visit audible.com/Riker or text Riker to 500-500. That's audible.com/RHYKKER or text Riker to 500-500. Let's kick off this week's news with a quick mention of the Mortal Kombat movie trailer that released. As someone who was a huge Mortal Kombat fan as a kid with a Super Nintendo, all I can say is this trailer looks really dumb. And I love it. It feels like it'll be exactly what a Mortal Kombat movie should be. Just dumb, schlocky action that's true to the game. So here's to hoping that the movie lives up to the trailer. Mortal Kombat releases on April 16th, at which point we can all not go see it in theaters. In other news, a new indie game called Valheim released recently, and it's been making waves. It reached nearly 400,000 concurrent players, an outstanding number, and has overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam. Valheim is a Viking-themed exploration and survival game for up to 10 players in a procedurally generated world. And I'd like to ask you folks, if you've tried the game, is it as good as the hype makes it out to be? Sound off in the comments. On to some Wolcen news. The devs released a new balance and bug fixing patch with the intent to shake up the meta. Quote, "Our goal is to improve the balancing of Wolcen iteratively with some changes brought to the game every few weeks. The modifications will be supported by your feedback that our teams are collecting daily on our various platforms and our internal metrics." The devs have clearly not given up on the game and seem to be making earnest efforts to make players happy. Recovering from a bad launch is difficult, but possible with enough dedication from the devs. No Man's Sky, for instance, had a remarkable turnaround, and here's to hoping Wolcen can too. On to some last Epoch news. The devs have added some new content to their endgame system, some new bosses, new unique items, and they gave us a preview of new endgame arena maps, as well as a preview of a new skill. It's almost like the new BlizzCon was this weekend and wanted to put out a bunch of news about their game to make it into the news cycle. And guess what? It worked! Alright, and that takes us to our BlizzCon coverage, starting with something very unexpected. In celebration of Blizzard's 30th anniversary, Blizzard has busted out the Blizzard Arcade Collection, which is a re-release and port of 3 of their first games for PC and console: The Lost Vikings, Rock and Roll Racing, and Blackthorn, all of which will include some quality of life updates. These games will be available in both their original editions as well as upgraded definitive editions that include upgrades like enhanced multiplayer, new songs, new levels, and more. The Blizzard Arcade Collection is available now. On to some Hearthstone news. A new expansion, Forged in the Barrens, was revealed, which brings with it 135 new cards and Warcraft heroes like Zul'jin, and it'll launch this spring. The game is also getting a new mode called Hearthstone Mercenaries, a roguelike deck builder in which you build a team of mercenaries and pit them against a set of random challenges while earning loot along the way. In World of Warcraft news, the first major update for Shadowlands was revealed. Patch 9.1, titled Chains of Domination, will bring players to a new location called Korthia and include new quests, a new 10-boss raid, an 8-boss mega dungeon, and more. And in a move that absolutely no one saw coming, Blizzard announced the Burning Crusade will be coming to WoW Classic later this year. Now, because access to WoW Classic and the Burning Crusade Classic are included with a subscription to WoW at no extra cost, players will be able to choose whether they want to opt in their characters for the Burning Crusade content or remain in Classic. That means if you're a Classic purist and you don't want to move on to the Burning Crusade, you don't have to. You can decide for every character on an individual basis whether you want to move them into the Burning Crusade. And lastly, onto Diablo news. Diablo 2 Resurrected was revealed. A remaster of Diablo 2 and Lord of Destruction made by Vicarious Visions, which confirms all the recent leaks we've been talking about. For some reason, a lot of people still didn't believe me. Now, the surprising news for me is that D2 Resurrected has controller support and is also coming to consoles, along with cross-progression where available. It's slated for release this year, and you can check out my video with the full details about D2 Resurrected right here. We also got some significant Diablo 4 updates, including the reveal of the 4th class, the Rogue. The Rogue is a reimagining of the Rogue from Diablo 1. It uses both ranged and melee weapons and has exceptional mobility. You'll have lots of visual customization options, but also a lot of gameplay customization options. And one of the Rogue's unique mechanics is the ability to specialize into one of 3 gameplay-altering paths, sort of prestige paths, prestige classes, or paragon paths. And you unlock these specializations by working with one of 3 rogue organizations in the world, including the classic Sisterhood of the Sightless Eye rogues from Diablo 1 and 2. Rogues will also have a system in which they can imbue their attacks with either frost, shadow, or poison. The devs also spoke about a new feature, camps, which will serve as an incentive to explore the world. You find a camp that is overrun by evil, you clear it, you unlock a waypoint, and possibly some vendors or NPCs. We also got more details about PvP. There's a PvP zone in which you can collect shards of hatred by killing either monsters in the zone or defeating other players. And these shards of hatred do nothing by themselves, but you can bring them to an altar to purify them, to convert them into a special currency for PvP rewards. Now here's the catch. While you are purifying them, other players in the zone will be alerted and then can come kill you before you finish purifying and steal your shards. More details about PvP, the rogue class, and more will come in my big Diablo 4 Blizzconline video, which should go up tomorrow, so definitely stay tuned for that. And I'll quickly finish up by saying that while we're waiting to be able to play the Diablo 2 Resurrected Alpha, which hopefully is starting soon, no date yet, what you can play is the Project Diablo 2 mod, which will be announcing their ladder reset later today, along with giving a sneak peek at upcoming content for the mod. You can visit the website for more details, link below. And that's gonna wrap up this week's video. But do be sure to have checked out last week's video, in which we discussed the final release of the 3D Diablo 2 fan remake in StarCraft 2. Thanks for watching. Special thanks to my Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube supporters for making these videos possible. If you like what you see on this channel and want to support the creation of more content, you can consider pledging on YouTube or Patreon and unlocking behind-the-scenes content, monthly virtual hangouts, and more. If you enjoyed this video, please share it. Check out these other videos and subscribe to join Rikers Raiders for more gaming content.